Welcome in, everybody. Before I get into this evening's update, I want to go over the very real scenario that's unfolding in front of our very eyes. There's a couple different things that are going on within the XRP community, but also within some of these cryptocurrencies that we really need to discuss. There are two different things. One, with XRP, we're obviously awaiting some big news. A former CEO said that there's going to be some big news coming down in the next couple of days. So we're anticipating some kind of massive volatility with XRP, and some are awaiting what they would refer to the God candle, and that's going to be a candle that's going to move us in a significant way. And it's not going to be a 100% candle, but you could expect anywhere from a 10 to 20% push on a single candle, a single daily candle that could start switching the fortunes of XRP, and that's what some are awaiting. But what I'm going to talk about right now is a very real scenario that's taking place. Bitcoin and Algo, I'm going to use as the two examples here. They're severely overextended. Bitcoin's a perfect one to talk about. Extremely overextended here. XRP and XLM I still think are setting up for something. Now, we'll see where that's going to take place, but I think this is a very, very, very important update. It's going to be a rather long one. Like I said, no more short ones. I'm going to start doing what I feel is appropriate, and not necessarily because the viewers might want it shorter. I know a lot of you like watching the longer updates, but I think it's imperative now for me to just do what I think is appropriate and then let the chips fall where they may. So we're going to go over all of this that I've talked about, and then we're going to see a couple headlines that I want to share with you at the very end. So good evening, 8:36 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Wednesday, February 7th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So where do we start? Oh, Bitcoin. Up 216 points or 0.49%. Looks fine on the onset. But if you look at it from a relative strength index, we are severely overextended, and that push up that we just had, it just made it even more overextended. So it's a matter of how far do we go here? Does Bitcoin continue to rally up and push that 47,000? It's right around 47,000 pivot point. I put it up here just so we can all see. Can it get all the way up there without some kind of correction? Because as we can see, Bitcoin's severely overextended. And you can see every time it's come up into this area, we've had a rather large pullback. And you can see it's very consistent. So do we think it's going to go up to 96 right now, or do we think the likelihood is here we have to have a little bit of a pullback in the 30-minute? Even if you're not looking into the severe time frames, I think it's trying to tell us that we're starting to get overextended here. So, and then if you pull it back into the 2-hourly, overextended still. Now, where it's at right now, we were at about 81. Now go back into the past. When Bitcoin gets to 81, what generally happens in the 2-hourly? Well, at 79, 80, we're actually a little bit overextended in most, or we're right up to where it usually dumps. We're within that area where it typically dumps. So after this 2-hour candle closes, because we had further momentum up, don't be surprised if this starts to end up in an area where we've got no choice but to pull back here. Same thing with the 3-hourly. We're going to have a little more volatility to the upside. There's no doubt in my mind right now that we've formed an inverted head and shoulders. And if you're not familiar with what that is, I'll kind of show you the best interpretation I can show you. So basically it came down, and when it did this formation here, that created an inverted left shoulder. When it came down here and did this, there's your inverted head. Now, when it comes back around, it swings up. This is going to be your inverted right shoulder. Like, I understand you had this little movement here, but to me, that's nothing. That's just a little bit of consolidation that happened, and it happened to form that little area. But those three areas are your inverted head and shoulder. Now, the important thing here is if we properly consolidate, this pattern doesn't have to end here. The pattern can continue to go up to what I used to call the arm or the leg in the sand. So basically, it would have to come up, and now we're overextended. So maybe a drop down here, confirm the breakout here after a little bit of a pull up, confirm that we broke what used to be a bull flag, that as we know, just for transparency, we came down into a broadening wedge, as you can see. But now that we're in that other formation, I think it's pertinent that you use that information that we have. Just because it formed into something else, I still think it's important. So now that we're on the top end, Now it would be nice to get a nice consolidatory bounce and then finish taking this trek. And if it does, then you end up talking about the farther parts up here. And that's what I always talk about is the leg in the sand at the end. So you got your arms out. Wait a minute. Head, arm, yeah. And then this would be your leg right here. So right now, imagine your head's in the sand and the beach. Arms out, spread out, watching the beach. Leg up, leg flexed back here, right? That's what I'm talking about. So technically, if Bitcoin wants to come up, it has one more leg up. You're going to have to hold this breakout attempt, though. And that's going to hold by holding what was a bull flag here. And we know that. And then if it holds 47,000, then we can talk about that broadening wedge that has actually formed. So that's what I'm looking at here for Bitcoin. I think it's pretty clear what's going on here. But Bitcoin needs a pullback for continuation. And to me, the bulls are in firm control. So I would expect a pullback here. I would expect a pullback. This is the time when if I had profits, which I can tell you if you're a leverage trader, if you have profits right now, this might be the time to look at your individual asset. And if it's matching up with what I'm saying, you know, you've done your job. These are the stressful times that you shouldn't even be worried about it. And you let the market volatility go right now, and then you leap on something when it has the next correction. That is the way we do it. Algo is starting to consolidate here in the 15-minute. Now, the risk here is that they can keep going up if you're a leverage trader. That's why I always say I like spot trading. I like being in my spot positions. But I understand some of you might want to do that. So I try to give you the perspective from both ways. So Algo, see the 200 days right here, but I'm not even worried about that. And even in the 3 hourly, we're overextended. And if you just look at Algo's history, we have had an instance recently where we went up to 93 in the 3 hourly. So is this another case where we're going to come up? Because we're on a very big inverted head and shoulders. I mean, cup and handle formation. And I would like to thank Falling Away for sending me this. So you can see the cup and handle formation. He drew it out perfectly. And instead of me drawing it out, I'm just going to show you what he had sent me. And this is before it made the recent breakout today. But you can see it's going to start to break outside this formation. So now our push, your target would be about 25.16 on this handle. To come up and see if we can break through this handle being bullish. Now there's going to be consolidations in the way. But that's the estimated move here. And it was in a great position to have that move up yesterday. If you were in the live, we talked about this exact, opportunity in the leverage trading perspective. Even though I don't like the leverage trade, I still talk about them. So this is what we're looking at here. So they're overextended very much so here. Not to say they can't continue to overextend, but at some point we're going to have a short-term correction. That doesn't mean we're reversing. Doesn't mean that at all. What I would target with like Algo, I'm looking at the 2 hourly. We've got an looming golden cross in the 2 hourly. 1 hourly, we've already had it. So what I look at is probably a retest first area would be appropriate around 1656. If you're marking a spot on you got to retest that 200 day in the 2 hourly. That's where you're going to see if this longer time frame plays true. 1 hourly, if that doesn't hold, 1650. So it's basically the same thing. You're going to see if the 1 hourly 20-day holds and the 200-day, it's going to basically converge in the 2 hourly. So you'll see. This is where we're probably going to have to do that retest. Whether it goes up or not is the question. But I think we're probably going to come down hopefully without much of an issue. And then you can get back on track here. If it retests here, same with Bitcoin. It's got to do the retest. So that's Bitcoin. That's Algo. XRP is down 0.43%. And this is the beauty of the longer updates, ladies and gentlemen. I can just be myself and I can go through things like I need. I know it took 9 minutes to get the XRP, but you know what? I think you got a lot of valuable information with Bitcoin especially, and then Algo, so you can have a basic understanding of how the market's starting to trend. Down 4.43% for XRP at 51.14 cents. XRP is also starting to correct, but you can see we had a golden cross in the 30 minutes, so we're retesting there, 45 golden cross. So much like what we were talking about with Algo and Bitcoin, there's retest going on here. And if we want this to continue going up, we need correction. 1 hourly, so you're going to try to first figure out, but I think it's going to come through and come to about 508. If it's me and I'm looking for an opportunity with XRP, if you look at the daily time frame, we've got a lot of room to run up still. It's almost like XRP's waiting to pull this right arm up. And what I mean by that is right now is a good time to look for an opportunity because look, boom, boom. If this swings up, you can go bam, bam, and then it comes up. That's a W reversal here. All we were waiting for is that. And then you'd be like, whoa. And that's what people are talking about with kind of the God candle here. So if you look at it, even if it just went up there and we had a quick run up like that on a daily candle or maybe 2 candles, maybe a 2-hour candle turns into an 8% move or something, or a 30-minute candle ends up being 8%. Or heck, maybe we get fortunate in a 2-day period we have 27%, you know, or whatever. But we're looking for that big spike. So maybe the candle starts out, let's just say we're in like a 3-minute period. Maybe in 3 minutes, you know, we're getting, let's see what our volume is. 139,000. Maybe we get a 3-minute candle that 17 million comes in. And the price moves up by 5 to 7%. And then you have it repeat. You know, and then that ends up being like a, I don't know, into a 10-minute candle. And then you look, or you have a 30-minute candle that just blows it all up to the top side. That's what we're awaiting right now. And you see the consolidation. It's getting me even more. You hear that? You hear that and smell it. That's excitement. I'm excited. I know it looks like a head and shoulders. We want this in the short time frame. This is why I'm on right now. This is beautiful. Oh, man, this is beautiful. You see how we're dumping down on the relative strength? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. This is what gets me excited. Keep dumping down here. Keep dumping down. Because if we continue to do this properly, we're going to clear the relative strength. We want the shorter time frames to clear out here. The 2-hourly's already hit. The 4-hourly's already pretty much hit. But if those shorter time frames clear out, we're going to get a massive move to finish this off. You see this consolidation here? This is actually what we want with the relative strength right now with XRP. Right? It doesn't need to go all the way back down here. It's already come from there. We're already coming from there to move back. We're making our move back up. See, we already had the W reversal. That's what I'm trying to explain here. XRP is waiting for a massive move. And I don't know what day it's going to come, but one day I'm going to be back on here. I'm going to say, guys, the massive move happened. And some people say, it was 10, 15%. But coming out of this kind of a formation, I'm telling you, this thing is getting ready and it's consolidating. If we get this nice consolidation like it's already showing, we don't know how much more consolidation we're going to get. But at some point here, XRP is starting to line up something pretty spectacular here, in my opinion. It's just right now is the time when you don't want to buy the top heavy. If you're looking to get into some kind of weird swing trade, and if that's your forte, I'm not going to judge you, but you're not trying to get in when the relative strength is already up here, like with Algo. You're not trying to get in Algo when the relative strength in the 2-hourly, and yeah, sure, it might go up, but by definition or by rule, I would not be trying to get in when it's at 80. Sure, it could go up to 90, but what if it drops back down to 15? There's a lot more likelihood that we're dropping down more than we're going to rise up without a correction. So it just depends. What level are you going to be at? Because if you're talking about a swing trade, it doesn't matter what level it's at. You're trying to buy the best opportunity. If you're talking about accumulation, you already missed that opportunity. I'm not saying you missed it with the price. I'm just saying from the better opportunity of when we were buying on FOMO Fridays and winning Wednesdays for Algo, that was under 10 cents. So now it's a more of a risk. With XRP, it's at 51 cents. You got to do your own due diligence. Same with Algo. It was at 250 at one point, $3. A little bit higher maybe. So it's all about perspective. But with XRP right now, I'm sorry I'm dragging this out because, you know, I like this. It allows me to get my thoughts out. XRP looks like to me it's trying to figure out how to pull this arm up. I mean, it really does. It looks like it's getting ready. That's why I'm excited as hell that this is dumping out right now because we're getting overextended in the shorter times. If this 30-minute time frame finds its way back down here, and it's not going to have to dump as much as you think. If we just get a couple more candles, one to here, maybe get in 2 candles down to 506. My sweet spot is about 506. I'm looking at 506, and I might take a shot with XRP. It's just, then you have to go, well, where would you layer it, you know? And I'm talking about for a shot. I'm not talking about I'm talking about for if you're considering a leverage trade, that might be where I would take a shot. I'm not saying I'm going to for transparency. I'm just saying that's where I could see you taking a shot. But right now it's very volatile, and the whole reason for me to come on during this update is because I think we're looking at a little bit of a correction, which it's actually happened in some during this so far 15-minute update. But we'll see how this exchange goes. So watch Algo, watch XRP, watch Bitcoin, see how these corrections go, because look how overextended Bitcoin is. We've talked about this. 88 on the 45-minute with Bitcoin. Look at the last few instances. It got up to 83. It got up to 86. And Bitcoin, when it was at 88, went from 42,231 down to 41,000. So 800 point drop. And then it came up for a little bit higher. And then when it got to the next point, it was at 42,800, and it dropped better than 1,200 points. So just watch this for real. Even when it corrected, it did okay. But then again, when it got up here with the relative strength, it didn't even make it this high. So I would imagine that we're going to have a drop down to at least 43,500. Well, no. It doesn't have to be that far. But I would imagine at least first here, this drop is going to have to be to 44,000. So that means Bitcoin's looking at a minimum of 580 point drop. And that would help clear out some of the relative strength. And that's what you're looking to do. We're looking for a volatile drop right now. And let's see how volatile that would be from because it was at 700. It was at 44,670 roughly. So that if it could hold this would be a 675 point drop. I don't know if that would be enough to clear it, but if it does hold it, it could start from here. Otherwise, you'd go back down to 43,500. That'd be a 2.5% or 1,100 point drop. But you would be looking to hold this bull flag setup if you're looking for continuation. So, just either way, though, it's going to have to clear out here. Look how overextended we are. And like I've tried to show the instances, when this happens, it has what we've seen anywhere from a 600 point drop to well over 1,200. Just to clear out the relative strength for the next move up if it has continuation in it. So take this update wisely, and take this advice or whatever knowledge I'm sharing and use it with good character. Treat this with the love when you're in here. Have love in your heart, not hate. It's the importance of this environment. If you watch until the end, I usually have a message. I want to see more hashtag be better, do betters in the comments if you're watching this until the end. If you're watching until the end, hashtag be better, do better. Just a simple message. Because we all could do a little bit better. Even myself, I wasn't doing as good of a job as I should have been in here. I think I could have been doing a better job, and I'm going to prove it to you in the next few weeks and months and the rest of this year. I hope you've noticed a great change the last few days, because I'm definitely putting in 10 times more effort within each individual update in the live itself. And you'll see me more at night as well within an update, because I think it's only right. And I think it's just what we need. I do. All are welcome in this community. Whether you're new or returning, I need you as much as you need me. That's the truth. You're all welcome here. Truly are. XLM, real quickly. We won't go into the news because this is dragging on. And I want to release this before anything crazy happens. I'll probably do something in a little bit. But XLM is in this descending formation. I feel like there's something big about to transpire. I think it's undervalued, just like XRP. It's just this short term, we have to clear out this relative strength. And where do I think is the best opportunity here from XLM for if I think it can bounce up again and it corrects? I think it needs to clear out at least in the 30-minute time frame and send this back down just to make it a little more enticing. Does it have to happen right now? No. A golden cross in the making right here, so 10.86 if we can hold. It's not going to send it all the way to oversold, but it'll send it more into a neutral area, and then we can come up and finish this move, because I do believe we have to finish this move somewhere around 11 cents just to see if we're bullish or bearish. Right now is a nice consolidation. So that's what I'm looking at here for XLM. It's pretty interesting, the kind of formation it's set up in. It's just right now we're overextended in the shorter time frames, and a quick correction wouldn't hurt it. You can see, just like with XRP, a massive, and I mean a massive W is formed if this plays out properly, folks. You should be very excited with XRP and XLM. Algo as well, if it plays out with that big cup and handle, as it appears to be. But I mean, if this just pulls up, and you know it's not going to go straight up, we're just filling in the gaps. Does that not look like a W? Ooh, could you imagine? Now, it's going to take a lot to get there. It might even take, you know, it might even take something like this. I would expect, if it does something, let's say it corrects here, you'd get that move up to here, and then you would get this, you know, retest down here to help clear it out. And then if it breaks out, and then we'd be like, whoa, it actually was a W. So basically it'd be filling in. And then when you look at it at the end, it still might not look like a W, but when you start to pull it together, it's like, wow, there it is, right in front of our eyes. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you appreciate my work and you want to show support, I'm going to choose to put this at the end of the videos from now on. I'm not going to talk about donations of any kind or joining Tom's Army. Just know, if you watched until the end of this update, it's very important to see more emoji badges around chat, to have it in the community. It's what helps me fund this program, and your pay it forward mentality of that $9.99 a month. It helps out more than you know. I don't take any of the paid promotions, advertisements, or sponsorships for a reason, because I want to keep you with my pure thought, my pure vision, and teach you exactly what I know without being hindered by what somebody else wants me to say. This has been a dream of mine for a very long time, and I've been very blessed to be here for almost 3 years. And I'm calling on you guys for your help. If you've been around, if I help you, just in time, it doesn't have to be today, it doesn't have to be tomorrow, it doesn't even have to be next month. But in time, if I help you and you see fit, please consider, you know, paying it forward and becoming a member of Tom's Army and displaying one of those emoji badges, starting with me in month 1 of me being abducted by aliens, as you've seen in chat. That's my face superimposed on there. It sure is. It sure is, ladies and gentlemen. Otherwise, if you don't want to do that, you can always send a YouTube super chat, which would be greatly appreciated, so that I can continue to fund this great program, as I do love doing it. If you can find it in your hearts to continue to support my channel, and that's not by financial compensation, I mean by giving this video a like is the most important. Hitting that subscribe button if you're new, and joining the over 20,000 subscribers is very important. And then sharing this on social media, or just sharing this no matter where you're at. Just hit that share button, as we have a slogan here: watch, recycle, repeat. Watch the content, recycle it to friends and family, and come back, repeat by coming back and watching the next update. Have a blessed evening. Hashtag be better, do better. Hashtag FUD Assassins. And remember, help one person each and every day. Because if I don't do my part and you don't do your part, it's going to be a very slippery slope heading into this next transitional period. But if we have each other's backs, as I know we do here in this great community, we're going to succeed more than most of you could even imagine, more than I could even imagine. And the fulfillingness of the love and the positivity that you can feel and the joy that you can receive by helping each other when we finally get to our destination is going to be something that we could not even dream of. Have a blessed evening, and don't forget to give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen.